business. They're looking at forms that we already have of clients or clients actually filling it themselves and sending it to us. Normally, and we still are, a full service video production company, not just shooting, at strategy, designing, planning, implementation. But at this moment, businesses don't necessarily need all that. We're still allowed to go out and film, but people are feeling very sketchy about the environment, so that has dropped work off.
And at the moment, I can see with some of my clients, I'm playing a much bigger role in their strategy and how they're going to survive the next few months and how we're going to keep their business alive. And that comes into my second question, was my greatest skill is, and I would say that's preparing forecasts and budgets. And especially in this time, it's very important to have a cash flow and to update that cash flow. I'm basically updating it every day with all the incentives.
With a bit of a summary and your contact details, because people will go and look at you. So we can talk more about that if you want, but you don't have to be posting all the time. You can just comment, and if you see some comment post by somebody in the group and you comment, it will help to raise attention to your profile as well. So the first thing is you need to have your profile up to date and to sell it. Yeah, you need to do those things. Yeah.
I've got a profile, it's just I'm not really using it.
Managing cash flow in your business. I guess the most obvious thing is all the government incentives that are out there at the moment. They're quite complicated, and if used correctly, they can actually really help businesses with their cash flow, in that there's quite substantial rebates you can get back, especially if you employ staff. So that's the main thing at the moment, just trying to decipher that minefield in language that the customer can understand and also relevant to their particular situation, because not all the stimulus measures are relevant to everyone. So that's really the main thing I'm doing
as well, to rethink my business model, maybe scale my business. I mean, I can't really scale it down, but rethink my clients, what type of projects I want to work on, and also whereabouts I'm located. So at the moment, some of you know, I've got quite a big co-working space that I run. We rent out desks to people. Obviously, it's kind of emptied out in the last few weeks, so I'm stuck with a big space and lots of rent and no tenants. So, but I was sort of thinking about that anyway. I'm wanting to maybe set up my own small office somewhere and not sort of have this shared space anymore. So it's kind of prompted me to look into that. And the other thing is just focusing on maintaining my existing customer base, keeping in touch with them.
I guess what's different now is the actions that I take, because like many here, my leads have mostly come from face-to-face networking. But I'm a great believer in obviously working and maintaining those connections with your existing client base, and really also thinking in terms of not just looking after them and maintaining those connections, but really recognizing that knowledge is power. And so taking the time to really analyze why they are your customers, what it is, what the value is that you have brought, and then looking at how that applies in terms of where you might start generating leads in a new situation, in a new environment.
I'm very empowering. I build confidence. I help people to realise their strengths. So I feel that I'm in a good position to be able to do what I want in terms of influencing. My experience in using LinkedIn has actually been very successful. The month of January, I did a bit of an exercise to see how many new connections I've developed over the couple of years that I've been in business. And in January this year, I ended up having more connections within the month than I had in the previous 3 years. So I thought I better keep going with that, because that's obviously whatever I'm doing is working. So I better keep doing that. And I'm getting posts that are getting 3,000 views. So I think I'd better keep putting stuff up there and spreading good cheer.
5 interviews organised for a client, face-to-face interviews where we had candidates going to them overnight. They said, we can't do that. We're not having face-to-face meetings. And so I said, fine, we'll do it on Zoom. And then I thought, I don't have a Zoom account. I don't even know how to use it. And so overnight we learned how to use it. We organised 5 Zoom interviews and it went brilliantly. So say yes and then figure out how to do it later. Describe your perfect day. Look, right now, the perfect day looks like a walk in the morning with my wife, Elizabeth. So we get out and get some fresh air, come back, get stuck into work because I like my work. And then the perfect finish would be have an hour to myself to be able to do something on the business and then have a nice dinner and a glass of wine. Have you overcome a difficult situation, or how have you overcome a difficult situation in your business previously? Look, in the first couple of years of my business, I thought I was really clever. I had a great client who was giving me 80% of my work. And then overnight, that client said, sorry, we can't use you anymore. We're going to close the business down. Which I thought, well, oh dear, what do I do now? So I just set myself a goal. I said, well, I had one client, which was 80%. I now need 10 clients that represent 80%. And I just set myself the task of finding 10 clients and building the business back up again.